the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at Print United in Atlanta. What an amazing show. A lot of booths, a lot of gear. But I wanted to spend some time with my good friends at Kyocera. Kyocera got into the ink production space with the Task Alpha 15,000C. I believe that was about 2 years ago. I want to get an update on where they're at with that. And Oscar Sanchez, who's the CEO of Kyocera USA, brought in a new leader, Dustin. And Dustin's in charge of getting that into the market. So we want to talk a little bit about that and some of the challenges you might be having. But Oscar, let me start with you. You know, you got into this Task Alpha C, when was that? 2 years ago, am I right?
Yeah, 2 years and a half.
So let me ask you a question. When you did that, I think I threw that big machine up on the interactive board and I said, Oscar, what are you doing? I was a little bit leery, getting into production, you know, how's this going to work? How's it going to work in your portfolio? So give the audience a little bit of a, where are we at 2 years later?
Well, I mean, Kyocera had a long history of producing very high quality inkheads. So it was for us a natural evolution to get in the production world that we have never been before, but with ink, because that's our expertise. So it is true that for us it was a very new experience, but after 2 years and a half, we can say that we're very happy. The results have been really good, and I think this is proving that it's working. We had really good partnership with very good dealers. We had good success in our direct operations. So altogether, we had a really good ride. Only with one product until now. We are introducing our second product in the line. So we are very happy with the results and the outcome of that experience for us.
Well, I would tell you, Oscar, you know, I'm looking at these machines and, man, these things are bigger than the first trailer I lived in, I'll tell you that. But it's amazing to me when you look at this technology, you look at the production space, and then when you're at this Print United and you look at these customers and some of the applications they're doing. So there is a need out in the marketplace for this space. But one of the things, and Dustin, I'll throw this to you, is when you look at production and you look at our dealer community, okay, don't get offended, some of you guys, but are there a lot of them aren't ready to do this.
So I think there's many that are ready.
Okay.
It's not as simple as some of the other production devices that are out there. It's what defines Inkjet different than toner production is that there's certain applications it does exceptionally well, great value, low cost, high reliability, but it's not every application. So it's finding customers that have that right mix of applications and zeroing and focusing on them. And so there's certain dealers that have figured that out and they've had success with it. Others still are finding their way, but eventually it's almost, you know, not to sound cliche, but water finds its level. People find the applications, or the applications find the technology, because everything that can be run Inkjet is probably going to end up on Inkjet.
Well, let me ask you a question. If I'm a production guy and I built a business based on laser, and then I'm looking at Kyocera ink technology, if I'm selling the laser, does that work in every application? Where if I go with the Kyocera ink or any ink product, then I'm limited to the applications. And what's the spread between those? You know?
So they're just different. It's, you know, there's just like cars are different and food's different. It's just different. So some satisfy certain applications, certain environments, certain customer types better. So toner can probably do things more universally across there, but it's at a pretty fixed higher cost per copy page, where Inkjet is really good at a lot of applications. Again, high reliability, but at a cost per page that is, you know, a fraction of a penny. So it's just different. That's changing though with the new product that we're showing here for the first time in the world, the 55,000C. We're now enabling gloss-coated papers with no pre-treatment, no gimmicks, no compromise. The same paper that can be run on a toner press, can be run on an offset press, can be run on the 55,000C. So there's no supply chain challenges, anything. Work can be moved from one press to the other.
So in Japan, Oscar, does Kyocera as a company believe that they can position, or the technology will position it, because the process has caused innovation? Is there going to be a point in time where there's going to be no argument between laser being better than ink? Do you see that coming anytime?
I'd say that saying that ink is better than laser in general, I don't think that's the right statement. I think, again, what Dustin is saying depends on the application.
Okay.
So we believe there is a big market out there for ink, and I think that there are not so many players in that market. I think that you require long expertise and know-how. We have it from a technological point of view. So what is clear is that from our headquarters in Japan, we understand that there is an opportunity, there is a way to expand our market. We know that our industry, our traditional industry, is very mature. It's difficult to generate growth and revenue in the traditional space. So we need to find alternative sources of revenue, and we believe this is for us. This is the game for us, because we understand that we can get more revenue in an area that we have the expertise already.
Well, my thinking is the industry consolidates and we get pressure from digitalization, if you will. I mean, we're competing against a digital world in a printed page. I think that the OEMs that can reduce the cost of the everyday processes that maybe some other folks aren't willing to reduce cost on. And one of the things I want to ask you now is, you've had this for 2 years. You should have a pretty good sized MIF out there. Have you all looked at any of the data that can clearly define on the serviceability between the Task Alpha 15,000C and its cohort laser print? Is there any benefit? Are we seeing
Tremendous benefits. Yeah, it's anecdotal, but we have customers that have hit 60 million impressions and had but a handful of service calls.
Okay.
So just totally different stratosphere than what the experience is with toner. And a lot of it is because the technology, there's very few moving parts inside of it. It's a non-impact technology. The print head sits above the paper, so it just jets onto there. So you're not dealing with fusers and drums and those types of things. It's a lot simpler technology. Of course, there are other incidents and customers who have different expectations, and that's where our dealers step in. And we have dealers that have wonderful records in servicing both office as well as production print technology. Customers want that peace of mind to know that they can pick up the phone and they're going to have a dealer that's there to service. And that's really where they add value to our product offering. Though we know it's very reliable, our customers depend on that technology oftentimes to run their business. And if that's part of running their business in the production space, they have to have that peace of mind to be able to know that they're there for them.
Well, I would challenge you all this, and maybe we can work on this, over the next couple of months, but I would really like to be able to share with the marketplace some real hard data.
Sure.
So I spent about a year with my friends at Dextera, and we were, of course, they have the largest database of print metrics and services, and we were seeing that ink was definitely, the visits alone. I mean, if you could get the tech from having to go there, that's a big deal. And so, obviously the parts, not doing all these, changing a fuser on a production machine is a production.
Right,
when you're dealing with ink set. But we hear a lot of people, they'll poo-poo ink and they'll say something like, well, we got to change all these heads and they're super expensive. Is that a fantasy?
The heads are expensive, but they don't need to be changed. So part of the reason that Kyocera was an attractive company for me to join is because we have a long heritage in the most industrial proven inkjet heads in the entire production space. But it's been commercialized in other people's products to this point. That's why when Kyocera announced that they were bringing a product to market with a 15,000C, it really piqued a lot of people's curiosity, saying, well, now Kyocera is actually entering, they're taking their best-in-class components and they're making them part of a product that they then can control the product roadmap with them. And so we absolutely think that the print heads are the key to our product being differentiated in the market, and so we ensure that through the lifetime of the press, we will warranty them all the way through there. In the out years, there's a cost to that, but it's part of a warranty program because we have that much confidence that those print heads are going to last the lifetime of the machine.
I mean, most of our industry probably would attest that Kyocera has the best warranty program. I mean, I'm not just saying that, that's a fact. So if you take that warranty program and you push it into production, that's awesome. So Oscar, I guess the $1 million question, you know me, I'm a big ink guy. I want to start a war against laser. So when are we going to see the ink technology getting into the A3 office space and then eventually the A4 office space? I'd rather see it go to the A4 first, where it's just black without the color. Is that even a possibility, or am I living in a fantasy?
I mean, I could tell you, but then I would need to kill you afterwards.
Okay, there you go.
So, no comment on that.
But I think that's kind of where we're heading. You guys have some great technology. And folks, if you haven't seen the Kyocera Task Alpha, you should do it. So I'm going to just ask one more question. I guess, Dustin, go to you. If I'm a dealer in the marketplace, and maybe I'm doing some business with some other OEMs, but the only thing I want to do with you is your production, and then maybe your new production. I don't want to do anything else with you but that. Can I do that?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
We're looking for the right production partners, but we're looking for partners. So we have two products in the market, and they might look similar, but they're positioned toward two different market spaces. So We know we'll have customers that have both of them side by side, but we also know that there's going to be some customers that are only interested in one or the other. We want partners that embrace the entire portfolio and the roadmap, the product, not just somebody who's looking to sell this device because they think it's a unique solution in the market today. So that's really what we're looking for, and sometimes those are primarily production dealers.
Well, you know, the OEMs have always been good with working with the dealers, getting the dealers up to speed, training. That's probably under your bailiwick. So are we putting programs together to get the education these folks need?
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. So we've done a lot of training around the technology, and that's table stakes when we enroll in new dealers to go around, train up their different operations, train up their salespeople, and so on and so forth. What we're focusing on more now is when I talk about Inkjet, it really is an application-driven solution, and especially the 15,000C. What we see is that we have customers that are coalescing around the technology that live in different market spaces. K-12 public schools is one that's really interesting to us. We're seeing a lot of interest, a lot of uptake, a lot of success stories with those because they're producing their own curriculum. So we see it in banks and insurance companies, in plants. So we're seeing more and more of those types of environments. So we're very focused on helping the dealers identify those opportunities, what the value proposition, how we should be approaching and talking to them, because it's not just about a toner device with a set click charge that can be negotiated.
Sure.
It's something very different.
And you obviously you're going to bring the vertical expertise to help.
Absolutely. Yep.
So let me, I don't know if you can share this or not, but what kind of MIF are we looking at since over the last 2 years that you guys have put out?
Well, in the US right now, we are close to 300 units deployed in the industry.
Okay. That's
So
awesome.
I think it's a good number. It's starting from scratch for an organization who never sold production before. So I think that's a really good numbers.
Well, you're already going to kill me on the other question. So are we going to see you OEMing this for other folks? We know we have to have consolidation. Are you going to be the ink kings for the other OEMs?
I don't think so. I think that that product is quite unique. So I think that's not something that we're going to see. I mean, there are some technological partnerships that Japan is signing with some companies, but not with the idea of having an OEM. It's more to have a technological partner. So I don't think this is a product to OEM to other manufacturers. So I don't think we'll see that.
Well, I would tell you this, you guys are in a great position. You got a great A4 lineup. You got one of the greatest, warranty platforms there is. Your A3 is great, competes with anybody else. So at the end of the day, I wish you the best of luck. And Dustin, in your new job, you got your hands full. We got to get those reps changed. Because everybody watching me knows this, status quo is the killer. All it'll be invented